here it is, guys. This is kind of a bit of a milestone moment. This is the first box on this 10-year journey which we are doing, pitting TCGs against the stock market.
It's not sexy. It's not exciting. The life of being an investor on a big boy scale. I don't mean a little Rudy when you got one little box in your closet.
We have our first High Seas booster box. I don't know if you know, but I'm from Cornwall, hence the name. I'm not far from Penzance, so I love anything to do with pirates, Pirates of the Caribbean, One Piece. So this will look great on the shelf. High Seas. So what was my rationale behind this box? As you know, I got it for a really good price. It was 70, I think I paid about £71, £72, Great British Pound. And the other boxes online were about 110, 120. I know that it has taken a bit of a dive in recent weeks because of the new set. Everybody's complaining about the artwork's too cartoony or something, but this set to me looks really solid online. So let's jump into the cards and I'll show you the prices of why I think the £71 booster box was actually a good investment. High Seas. Okay guys, I'm going to start off by saying that we all have to start somewhere. And this is my first, hang on, you can't see my face. Jesus. That's why I wear the shades. But anyway, we have got our first High Seas Flesh and Blood. So first thing I need to do is go over to High Seas. And I need to add this to my sealed collection. There we are, one High Seas. £79, so it's dropped a bit more, but it's still about £5 or £6 more than I paid for it. So hopefully that's bottomed out. So let's add one of these. And then we can go back to our total. Our portfolio should have gone up a bit. There we go, 9933. I ran into a bit of a hitch with the stock market. It turns out that I can do a demo mode, but I can't keep adding money into the demo mode. It only gives you like one block of money. So it only gives you a maximum of £40,000. So I put £40,000 on. So my idea was to use that £40,000 and then just take like £100 off every time I buy a booster and put it in the S&P. But it's just getting too complicated. So what I'm just so what I'm just going to do instead is I'm just going to show you weekly what the S&P is doing. So this is what it's doing right now. £92.74. So we'll be able to track that as I take a screenshot and maybe do a database of it over time of how it's been moving, or we can fuck knows. So to be fair, the S&P 500 hasn't really done much. It's come down 0.47 today. It was a bit more, but I think that'll just be profit taking from Elon Musk buying his shares, and it bumped up the price yesterday. So not really much to compare it with there. It's on £91.90. So let's have a look at these cards. And I'll explain to you why I think this was a pretty good investment. Okay, so let's High Seas, let's go high to low. So bearing in mind this was a £72 box. The cards inside of this, look at the prices of these. We've got the Ruby Amulet is number one, and that's going at £1,190. Another £1,000 card, a £700, a £600, a £500, a £500, a £500, a £366, a £224, a £183, £180, £139. So we have to get all the way down to what are we? Sawbones, Dockhand. We have to get all the way down to about here until we start reaching the actual booster box price. So that is a lot of cards that could potentially be pulled out of this booster box, which I think will maintain its value. But even that, I mean, some of these are, they're kind of cool, but I like more of a character. Like this thing's quite cool. There's a nice Gravy Bones Shipwrecked Looter. Looks a really cool full art, and the print quality of this card I hear is pretty darn good. So coupled with that, coupled with the artwork, coupled with the print work, coupled with all these amulets, the game being quite interesting to play. I mean, just look at this normal. I think this is just a cold foil, 86 quid for a hook. Yeah, so there's that gold hook I was looking at. That's on there for 73 quid. Is that a foil? Yeah, I think it's a foil. They've got the PSA 10. That's only in a PSA 8, and that's on for 1,500. And there's that Flesh and Blood Platinum amulet, and that's on there for 1,020, which is 700 odd English pounds. So the market does kind of reflect what collector is saying, even though it does look a bit less than what this is saying. But as I said yesterday, as items get sold, this updates itself, so this will probably drop a bit more. I think the whole Flesh and Blood will drop a bit more, but we're in it for the long game. Quick drops over 6 months, doesn't register, doesn't matter. It's just time to start buying cards. This thing's quite cool. Scuba Salty Sea Dog. I mean, guys, artwork like this, and it's like a 13 quid card. That dog is well cool, and it's a full art, and it's like 13 quid. Take a snapshot, guys. Something has moved. I don't know what's moved, but I've just broken over £10,000. I'm gonna have a look in this bit here. It looks like the Rayquaza has gone up 10%. The Magikarp, I don't know what these were yesterday. I'd have to look on the video. I know the Victini was still minus 16. The Celebrations Charizard hasn't moved, but something has moved. I'm not quite sure what's moved, but I know the Flesh and Blood's gone in, which is right there. I know the Charizard's come down a couple of pound, but as a whole, just like the S&P 500, some things drop, the rest pushes up. And then one last thing I want to touch on before I go. I've been looking at other booster boxes to buy. I think Rudy from Alpha Investments covered this too, but look at the price of this Magic the Gathering Spider-Man collector's booster box. It's £529, and it's got no serialized cards in it. When you can get Brothers War for 250, so like less than half the price. And that's got serialized cards in it. So, one of 500, one of 250. So I think you'll be paying £529 just for the privilege, just for the intellectual property of it being Spider-Man. And I know Spider-Man is more sought after. It's a bit more popular. But to be double the price of Brothers War, which has got serialized cards in, I don't understand, man. That's pretty much all the updates I have for you today, guys. Go follow me on the Collector app, Cornwall Card House, just up this corner here, and you'll be able to see what things I add to my portfolio, and things go down, things go up. It'd be nice if you could like, share, comment, or get involved. Try this yourself if you've got some spare capital. Even if it's just a few cards, just to join in, and we can share tips from booster boxes and what's a good buy and what's not a good buy. Goodbye.